Hi everyone. Now I am going to show you how to connect it to a cloud database, which is Snowflake from Power BI Desktop. As these days, every companies are moving to cloud databases in order to store their data and access the data from. So this is very helpful for all the analysts to understand how to connect it to a Snowflake database from Power BI Desktop. Before connecting to Snowflake database, we need few things or few requirements to connect to a Snowflake database, which is one is account identifier, also called as server name, and then a warehouse name to which warehouse you want to connect it to, and then you need the login credentials. If you have all these, yes, you can connect to a Snowflake database from Power BI Desktop. First thing, let me show you how to identify an account identifier or a server name and where we can identify that. So if you can go to the URL path of your Snowflake, here is my URL path to the Snowflake, and you can find an account identifier on this URL. So once if you observe after the HTTPS, there is something like codes with a combination of alphabets and numbers. So this page is considered as an account identifier. And in order to connect it to Snowflake from Power BI Desktop, you need a server name, which is a combination of account identifier with the domain name of snowflakecomputing.com. So the whole part of this URL is considered to be as a server name and is used to connect to Snowflake from Power BI Desktop. So let's go back to the Power BI and see how we can connect to the Snowflake from Power BI Desktop. So let's go click Get Data and click on. You can either scroll down to find Snowflake in the list, or otherwise you can also type in the search bar to find the Snowflake and just select and connect. Now it will ask you for the server name, which is an account identifier, and also a warehouse name. So I have already copied the account identifier. Let's paste it here. And my warehouse name is compute underscore WH. Let's click OK. And now this will ask you for a login credentials in order to connect to Snowflake database. And once you provided login credentials, it will open you a window which shows the list of databases that are existed in that Snowflake. And it will only show you the databases and the schemas under the databases and tables under the schema which you have access to. So you can only see the tables and schemas and databases only if you have access. And if you were unable to find any of the tables or schemas or any databases under the list, you can always contact your Snowflake administrator to provide you access to respective tables or schemas. And we can select whatever the tables we need. As every other databases, it will show you the preview of that table with all the columns and all the data, and then load. It will ask you for whether to import or direct query. It always depends on your requirement, whether you want to connect directly to the data to get instant changes as and when the changes happen to the data. Otherwise, you can always import if you want to see the changes only when you refresh the data. So in my case, I need import. Let's click OK. The load time depends on the number of columns and number of rows existed in the table. And also your internet speed matters here. And that's it. week calendar dim, and I can see all the columns here. So this is how we can connect it to Snowflake. Thank you for listening.